What's going down? What's going down? What's going down? Yeah, man, we about to get this thing started here, y'all. I know it's a late one tonight. It's about 1 a.m. here on the West Coast. But we got to do this show. I'll try not to be too long. And then you just got to catch the replay. Because even though this is a live show, everybody's asleep. So we about to get into it, though, y'all. Y'all see the title. Y'all see the title. Why your black son might not marry a black woman. Why your black son might not marry a black woman. Why your black son might not marry a black woman. We're about to get into it. We are about to get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, we got to get into it, man. We got to talk about it, man. We got to talk about what's going on, man. I got to talk to my peoples today. This is a men's channel. We're talking to the men, but we're also talking to the 40% of women that come in here, want to learn something. But I got to talk to the family right now. I got to talk to my FBA, my black people, period. You know, there's a kind of a tug of war going on between the black man and the black woman right now. There's a tug of war going on between the black son and the black mother. Now, I did a show the other day that modern mothers are betraying their modern daughters. Modern mothers are betraying their modern daughters. Did a show on that. Now I'm showing how modern mothers are betraying their black sons. Modern black women are betraying their black son. Modern women are betraying their sons. You got to ask yourself this question. With all this women empowerment, right? Nothing against it. With all this body positivity, with all this independent, with this Me Too movement and so on and so forth, what are they doing to the sons? What are your sons seeing? That's what you got to ask yourself. I mean, your actions speak louder than your words. Do you know that? Your actions speak louder than your words. Let's jump into this, man. Let's just jump into this. Let me take this down, right? Take this thumbnail down. Let y'all see my handsome face today. What's up? What's good? I know I need to shave, but we're gonna get into it. Man, it's your boy. It's me. Too much Moxie, and I got some game for y'all. I'm talking to the family today. Every once in a while, I got to keep it in house, and this is definitely an in-house topic right here. I don't know if I might end up taking this down and just putting it on the Patreon, because we are starting the Patreon here soon. But we got to talk about it, man. We got to have the discussion, man. We got to really get into this, man. We got to dig into this meat right here. If I had $1 for every time I heard one of my nephews saying they will not date or choose a black woman, I'd be rich. If I had $1, right, and I went around the younger generation of men, went around and asked them what type of woman they want and what type of woman they prefer. If I had $1 for every time I heard a young black man saying something negative about our black women, I used to get upset. I used to be like, man, Y'all need you need a strong black woman, blah, 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 blah. You need this and that, you know. But I can't blame now. I can't blame them. I really can't. I can't blame them for talking and acting out in the way they are. Kids are smart, man. They're smart and they are seeing how they're being raised. You know, all the time when I see these modern mothers wearing these little skimpy outfits around their sons, they don't think their sons don't grow up and see that. Every time I see these modern mothers betraying their own son and sleeping with their son's friends, they don't think their sons don't know about that. They don't think they see that. Every time they went out on a date and didn't come back or brought a man into the house or all they saw was guys coming in, guys coming out. You don't think that they see this? And I mean, what kind of positive image are you portraying to the black man about the black woman? What are you portraying? What your black son thinks about black women. What's wrong with our sisters? When I was growing up, there were great African American females that were examples of sisterhood. Yet today, a lot of African American women are ill mannered, self centered, and disrespectful to the black men that they should be falling all over themselves to get attention from. So I've decided to give you a glimpse inside of my head so you can understand why your son is not choosing the African American woman that you want him to choose. Now I'm saying African American, but let's be real, man. We're talking about, you know, that title is that African American is just it's overused and abused. You know, we're talking about foundational black Americans. We're talking about our foundation black American sisters. We're talking about the ones that went through slavery, you know, and so on. We're talking about we're talking about uh, the descendants of the ancestors. Okay, that's who we're talking about. I'm just specifically talking to the family today. Okay, our black people. Um, we got a little bit of a we're fighting too many wars. You know, we're fighting too many things. We're going out in the world and we're fighting. We're coming home and we're fighting. We're trying to fight for reparations. We're we're trying to make a move uh, to 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 protect our country and protect our borders. You know, we got so many fights. We're fighting amongst our own brothers and sisters who are not from this country. We're fighting against our African brothers overseas, our Caribbean brothers and sisters. You know, we're fighting against this train wreck of immigration coming in and thinking they can disrespect foundational black America. We got so many fights, man. So many things going on, and we're fighting against our mothers, our daughters, our wives. We got so many. There's a tug of war. There's really is. There's a tug of war going on in the black community. What are we gonna do about it? What are we? I'm gonna play a clip. We're gonna jump right into the clip. We're gonna jump right into the clip. We're gonna jump right into the clip. I think this will set the precedence of where we're gonna go next. We'll even read some of the comments today. I think that's as big as it gets. Let's jump into it.
He said they're too sassy. He said, Mom, they're mean and they're bossy.
Yesterday's price is not today's price, black woman. It's a new day. You see, what you've done over the last 4 or 5 decades, there's been very little penalty for disparaging anything black and male. From infants to esteemed civil rights leader, there's no boundary to what you will do and say against black men, and there's been very little penalty until now. Because young black men and boys think different, and I respect them for it. They can't be guilt-ridden into being loyal to you. Ain't your mama black don't work no more. So they will look over you. Ronnie will look right past you and pick somebody else for the prom. So black women, keep grooming the younger generations of black women in the ways of the hyena, and Becky Marisol Meiling,
In
they'll
the
pick it up from here.
ways of the
Thank you.
hyena.
He said they're too sassy. He said, Mom, they're mean and they're bossy.
Now, he said they're too sassy.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
He said they're too sassy. Mama, they're mean and they're bossy. How are you raising your children, black women? Modern black women. How are you raising them? What are you putting out there on the market? You're giving your daughters all this game, all this, and that. They're so entitled, right? They're they're so educated, right? They're so independent, right? You're raising them up. But what about your sons? What about your sons? What about your sons? What do they get? Right? What do they get? What about, I did you got to go back, some of y'all got to go back to my catalog, man. I asked a question on one of my podcasts. What's more important to the black woman? The family? What's more important? Is the family, is the culture or the family more important than a black woman's independence? What's it going to take for a black man and a black woman to get along? To get along. What's it going to take? What's it going to take for us to get along? So, if you're raising your daughters to be this super woman, right? Independent, don't need no man, high standards, right? Get into the bag, how much money you got, all this stuff, right? You're raising your daughters for that. What about how are you raising your black men? Most of the black men are coming from single parent homes, right? They're watching their mothers interact daily. They're watching you, mothers. They're watching you. Are you giving them a positive role model to look at? Or are you showing them how self centered, how narcissistic, how arrogant, how independent, how sexually promiscuous you are? You can't keep a man. Some of you mothers have been single for a decade while you were raising your children. You can't keep a man. It's not that you didn't have a man. You've had many men, many men, many men. You've had many men, but no husband. You've had many men, but nothing solid, nothing that lasts a long time. Your children are growing up under your household. They're watching how you treat their fathers, that you call baby daddies, that you say ain't shit. They're watching how you operate. And now it has backfired. There is a generation that's coming up and saying, you know what? I don't want this dysfunction. I don't want this dysfunction. I don't want this dysfunction. I don't want this loud mouth, loud talking, aggressive woman. I don't want it. That's what my nephews are saying. My nephews are saying this. They're saying black women are too aggressive, they're too angry, they're too mean. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You need you a good black, you need you a strong black woman. You need you you need you the FBA woman, man. You that's what you negative. They're rejecting it. I see them all the time with these white girls, these Hispanic girls, right? I don't see them with these black girls anymore. Matter of fact, let me tell you what I'm watching. I'm watching black women show up to prom without a date. But that white girl got her a date, and it's a brother on her arm. What's going on? What are we doing? How are we raising our sons? You're raising your daughters for success, right? You're raising your daughters to succeed, to not need any man, and they're doing a good job. They don't need a man, right? They don't need a man, right? They can handle themselves. You're raising your daughters to be masculine and less feminine when that's what a man likes. See, you're forgetting what the man likes. The man likes a feminine woman, not a masculine woman. Why are you raising your daughters masculine and your sons feminine? Why? That's what you have to ask yourself. Why? Why are you raising your daughters to be independent and masculine and competing with a man, which they should not be, instead of feminine, instead of classy, instead of respectful, instead of having words of honey on their mouth, they're spewing out venom. I need the 666. I need the six figure nigga with the six pack and the 6 inches. What are we teaching our daughters? Modern women, modern black women, how are you raising your daughter? Now, it's a man's channel. It's a man's channel, but you know, we we're talking right now. Even black men, how are you raising your daughters? Are you raising your daughters too independent? Are you raising your daughters too masculine? Are you raising your daughters like men? Are you forgetting about your sons? Are you forgetting about other people's sons? What son is going to choose dysfunction if he doesn't have to? Black women are becoming the last picked. Why? Because their mothers have betrayed them. That's what's going on. Their mothers have betrayed them. Betrayed them. The son of a black mom is more likely to marry a white woman than a black man, an Hispanic woman than a black man. The son of a black mom is more likely to marry a white woman than a black woman, right? A Hispanic woman or a woman from another country if he's able. Black women are not approaching black men in the right way. Why is that, black mother? What have you been teaching your black daughter? Have you been raising her up in a way where she is going to be received by men or where she is going to be rejected by men? Black women don't treat black men properly. You don't believe we can lead. You don't believe we're doing this. You want to tell us what to do. You want to raise your voice at us. You want to disrespect us in public. What is it that we got to do? Black women don't treat black men properly. Black women don't cook, clean, and act submissive. Now, understand, I'm speaking in generalities. I'm not saying all black women are this. If I want to be even more clear, I want to talk about the modern black women. We do have some traditional black women out there. Do have some very feminine black women out there, and it's much needed. But in general, that's not what we're seeing. That's very few and far between. Modern black women should put family first, but they're putting their career first. They're putting their career over the black man. And black men don't like that. Black men want a woman who cares about him, who wants to raise a family with him, that wants to follow his lead and help him bring his vision to pass because he's a leader. Where are the black women? Where are the black women who are for the black men? Black women's accomplishments are not authentic and they take credit for things they're not responsible for. I don't want to say it like that. I want to actually say it a little better than that because no, I'm just going to say it like that. Black women's accomplishments are not authentic and they take credit for things they are not responsible for. We have to talk about that. It's great in the things that black women are accomplishing and black women are doing, but do they really need to be there? I know it's gonna. This is the unpleasant truth. So, if you're watching, 40% of the women audience here that come in and check this out, if you're watching, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough meat that you're gonna have to chew. The rise of feminism has led to the decline of black families. Black men should have been careful with feminists. We should have been, man. We should have when our women came home talking that nonsense, and we should have booted that stuff out of there. Okay, we should not have allowed that to come in because it has done some damage in our community. Damage. It's done some damage. I'm talking to my peoples today. I'm talking to y'all today. We got to have this conversation. I talked about how modern mothers betray their daughters, but they also betray their sons. You don't know that your son and your daughter is watching you. They're watching you walk around in thongs. They're watching you show your butt when you go to the pool. They're watching how non-classy you are, and they're also looking at other races as well. And they're seeing the difference. Now we know modern women is rampant, so it's in every culture and every race now. Okay, we know that. But what are you gonna do, modern woman, who has an OnlyFans, and your son sees you on OnlyFans? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when that sex tape gets platted all over the internet, and your kids can see it now? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're 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 turning the black culture into a hyena type of situation where it's more matriarchal dominant, and that's not what needs to happen. You need to get in line with the patriarch. You need to get in line with the movement. You need to get in line with the leader, with the lead dog, and stop trying to lead. Stop trying to input. You need to actually take a step back and focus on what really matters, which is the family. Your black son that you're raising It's probably not going to marry a black woman. And it's your fault. It's your fault. Because you are the example. See, sons are supposed to want women like their mothers. Daughters are supposed to want men like their fathers. That's not what's happening. Not in the black community. Not with my FBA brothers and sisters, man. It's not. It's not. There's no. There's no happily ever after black community right now. It's not. It's not. Mothers, what are you gonna do? So, I'm gonna show y'all some of the comments, man. Show y'all some of the comments. Let's jump in. Let's get on. Let's get into some of these comments. That was wrong. Let me see here. All right, hold on. Okay, my system froze a little bit, so forgive me.
This is why people end up breaking up, because y'all not doing stuff anymore.
Oh, this is why people end up staying together. Notice in our parents, grandparents, and even great-grandparents' generations, the marriage and longevity rates were higher. And these rates were a lot higher for a number of reasons. One, the world wasn't that industrialized, so there were a lot fewer things to do. Two, our parents knew how to say no, so they weren't spending their money on things that would otherwise put tension on their relationship. Three, they understood the value of rest, which the lack thereof is the primary contributing factor to the number one killer of most people, that is stress. Let's rephrase that statement she made. She said, this is why people end up breaking up. No, this is why women end up leaving, because they feel they are entitled to a man's money by way of their wants. When you're being a wife, you're entitled to that man's provision and protection to the best of his ability, adhesive to your needs. Trinkets, gifts, vacations, and going out are wants. They're nice to have, but sooner or later that man will disengage from your insatiableness and you will leave under the false pretense that he was not prioritizing you.
Yeah.
But he was, because he was frugal.
This is why.
Okay. Now I didn't want to play that was an accident, but that was actually good. That was actually a good lead into. Okay. Let's see if I can go back.
As far as I'm concerned, a lot of people.
Please watch this.
So I have a little bit of a PSA.
A lot of, as far as
There we
He
go.
said they're too sassy. He said
This is where I want to go. I want to actually go to the topics here. I don't know. I can't do it. Okay. It's messing up on me, y'all. Let me back this thing up. It's messing up on me. I'm trying to get to the comments. I want to show you some of the comments. But it looks like we're not going to see those comments. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But you got to ask yourself, man. I mean, if we even go back to what that other video was saying about why relationships end, how are we raising our FBA daughters? How are we raising our FBA daughters? Are we raising them with respect? Are we raising them to show respect? Are we raising them to respect men? Are we raising them the right way with morals so they have value? Are we raising them that in a way that men value them? Because we're forgetting about what men value. What men value is different than what women value. It's different. It's different. It's not the same. Men value femininity. Men value submissiveness. Men value a woman who's genuine and who's there, who cares about them. That's what men value. Let's look at these comments now. I got these comments back up. I want to jump into these comments. Let's look in these comments. I don't know if you guys can see that, man, but I'm going to try to highlight that. Now, this is a woman, right? That's so funny because y'all don't see Karens and aggressive Latino women. So what she's saying is pretty much, oh, you want to call black women aggressive, but you don't see these aggressive Karens, these aggressive Latino women. And there are out there. There are out there. Don't get me twisted. We know they are out there. Especially modern women. Modern women are becoming more aggressive and more masculine, right? But guess what? You're a woman. Not that what you say doesn't matter, but of course you're gonna be down with the sisterhood. Of course you're gonna deflect and show us that, hey, Karen and the Hispanic women and the Asian women, all this stuff. Let me tell you something. But look at this. Look at the men. Facts. Agreed. No lies detected. Look at the men. That's what you should be. That's what you should. Men, you don't worry about what the women say. You need to worry about what other men are saying. And women, don't worry about what the sisterhood is saying. You need to be worried about what other men are saying. Got my passport, King. Looks like he's saying Poland. I can never go back to dealing in any way with a black woman. Doo doo. Wow. Okay. These are young brothers. These are young brothers saying this. Competition is real out here. Well said, brother. Smart young man spitting facts. He wants to be happy. He can see his mother and don't want he can see his mother and don't want that. Yeah. Black men are looking at their mothers and they're saying, I wouldn't choose my mom. They love their mom. They love their mom, but they wouldn't choose a woman like their mom. Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? We got a real dilemma here, family, that we got to talk about. We got to deal with. You know, y'all can hate me all you want to, but it is what it is. What's your point that you're mean, bossy, and sassy, and still have a a black man after you, or a baby mama after you? That's just one person. Don't let social media have you believe this bull. I was married 20 years, proposed 5 times, recently proposed to. Real men kings out here. That's another woman. Don't let social media have you believe this bull. Okay, so she doesn't want to believe that your black son is going to marry out. But I was married 20 years. Okay, she was married 20 years. So now she's divorced, I'm supposing. Proposed to 5 times. Real men kings out here. And the guy says, what's your point that you're mean, bossy, and sassy and still have a black man after you? Okay, let's read it. Don't let social media believe this bull. Okay, that's the same thing, same woman. Ridiculous, she says. Say that shit again for the dummies in the back. That's the man talking. Look at this one. Little hyenas. He understands. Antoine Davis, he's like a young brother. Indeed. Look at all these young black men. Look at all these black men. Young men keep holding the line. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. That's another brother. This brother's clapping hands. This brother's smiling. This brother says 100. I keep saying these younger dudes paying attention and not having it. This not back in the day. Look, and another dude, you're right. Younger dudes ain't playing, and the young black women will have to pay the penalty for what the older women did. Yeah, you mothers are out the game already. You hit the wall, you're done. It's over. But how are you raising your daughters? Are you raising your daughters to be your twin? Are you raising your daughters to be your girlfriend? Are you raising your daughters to be your sister? Why aren't you preparing them so they can be wives and get along with men? When are we going to stop generalizing people and base it on the person's personal experience? Unless a person has has entertained all black women or all black men, there's no case. There's another woman deflecting. Another man said the young black boy did exactly that. He shared his personal experience with his mom about the mean, bossy, and sassy girls at school. That's what they're saying. Black women are mean, bossy, and sassy at school. Even at school. They're picking up on this at a young age. Why? Because kids act out what they see. They see their mothers and they see their parents doing things at home and they go and play it out at school. They go and play it out at school. And then she goes, and I understand that, but there's a lot of folks, especially on here, that want to generalize people, and that's not fair to say. See, first of all, you got to you got you know what we're allowed to generalize, okay? Just like we know that women prefer tall men. Not all women, but majority of women prefer tall men. That's a generalization. We're allowed to do that. Accept it. Stop deflecting and stop fighting it. Yeah, I'm talking about what was on the clip. Alarms should be going off for young black women, but they can't hear it. Penalties will be paid. He's right. He's right. He's right. One person laughs. They think it's all a joke. It's all a game. Let me play this clip one more time, and let me.
They're bossy. He said they're too sassy. He said, Mom, they're mean and they're bossy.
Yesterday's price is not today's price, black
Speak it
woman.
again, man.
It's a new
Speak
day.
it again. It's a new day.
You see, what you've done over the last 4 or 5 decades, there's been very little penalty
Very
for
little.
disparaging anything black and male. From infants to esteemed civil rights leader, there's no boundary to what you will do and say against black men, and there's been very little
Man, y'all was
penalty
talking about. I saw a
until now.
podcast.
Because young black men and boys think different, and I respect them for it.
Let me pause
They
this real
can't.
quick. I saw a podcast where they were trying to talk bad about Martin Luther. Black women were trying to talk bad about Martin Luther King, a civil rights leader, trying to talk bad about Martin Luther, trying to tear down the brother, right, for his shortcomings and overlooking the fact that he completed the mission, that he was mission driven. See, we have to get over this, in the black community, black women, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to take this L about men not being monogamous. Nobody on the planet is monogamous. Okay, let's keep that 100. The statistics are out. Women cheat just as much as men. So you want to keep down talking the black men, calling them a dog and this and that, and all men really. You want to keep doing that to make yourself look good, but you're doing the exact same thing. You're cheating. You're having multiple partners. You're not loyal. You're not faithful. You could blame the black man all you want to, but guess what? That's who we are. Your grandpa has a family that you don't even know about. And when he passed away, you'll get a glimpse of it. But your grandma's still there. She stayed. Now, maybe grandma was getting her dip on, and we don't know, but we know she stayed. We know he stayed. We gotta freaking get along and stay together. We gotta learn how to work with each other. We gotta learn to stop fighting one another. How can we go out there and conquer the world and take on the pressures of the world, put the world on our shoulders? How can we go out there and take back what the enemy has stolen if we can't get along? If we can't have peace under one roof? Let me play this clip. Let me finish this clip again, man, because it's just right on point. Your sons, what about your sons? You mothers out there, what about your sons? Do you care about them?
Can't be guilt ridden into being loyal to you. Ain't your mama black don't work no more. So they will look over you. Bronny will look right past you and pick somebody else for the prom.
Bronny James.
So black women, keep grooming the younger generations of black women in the ways of the hyena.
Listen.
And Becky Marisol Maylene.
Listen. Bronny James, LeBron James' son, Bronny James, took a white woman. Nothing wrong with that, but took a white woman to the prom. He could have taken a black woman. He could have. I'm sure he could have got another woman at another school to go with him to prom. I'm sure he could have had any woman, but he took a white woman. And not that his mother is a bad mother, right? I don't know her. I don't know what's going on at home, but I'm sure she is who she says. I'm sure everything is going great in that home, right? I don't know, but I'm just gonna guess. I'm sure it is. But what about the other choices that he has? What about these other mothers, these black mothers who are raising these black daughters to be so entitled, to be so materialistic, to be so mean and bossy and rude and disrespectful and angry? Who what choice what choice does Bronny James have? The younger generation is not picking black women. You may get an old man like me to still have faith in these black women and love them and deal with them. But the younger generation, they're not dealing with that. They're not putting up with that. Matter of fact, let's be real. A lot of these young cats, a lot of these young brothers, they're red pill. If you look at my analytics, I'm you know what, on the Patreon I'll do it. I'm going to show you guys my analytics on the Patreon so you can see. The 18 to 35, that's my biggest analytic, because it's young guys picking up. They want the game. They're not getting it from their fathers. They're not getting it from their uncles. They're not getting this game. They're coming over here on YouTube and they're getting what they need. There are more young men who are red pill today than ever before. They understand the court system is not in their favor. They understand marriage is and may be a scam, especially today's marriages. It's not beneficial to even let the government into your relationship because it's going to mess you up. The moment you try to get out of that relationship, all the favor goes to the woman, not the man. So they're opting out. They're saying, "Why get married? I'm just gonna sleep with as many women as I can, and I'm just gonna get to the bag, and I'll be fine." That's what these young cats are saying. That's what these young cats are saying. Why are they doing it that way? Why are they doing it that way? Let's talk about it. The first thing that comes to mind is respect. They're not getting the respect from these women, from black women. They're not getting the respect from modern women, period. They're not getting the respect. Their body language is off, their vocal tone, and they have an attitude. They're also checking for the number of kids she had. How many young women in their 20s, their early 20s, already have 2, 3 kids? Is that what you want your son to marry? A young woman with 2, 3 kids? Not being able to start his own family? Matter of fact, young women are getting their tubes tied because they had the kids. They don't want any more kids. Matter of fact, the young women today, the modern black women today, they don't even want to get married. They're not thinking about marriage until they're old or older. When their value is low, at the lowest. What about a man? What about your son who wants kids? Where are the women with the strong Christian belief? There's so many Christian feminists out there, right? There's so many lukewarm Christians out there today. What happened to the son that's being raised to love the Lord? What does he have to choose? These young kids are like, what are their parents like? How are their father treats their mother and how the mother treats her father are very important to these youngsters now. They don't want to deal with drama that a family creates in the future when when they want to have their own children. They're looking at her view on life and love in general is very important. Does that woman genuinely love me? Does that woman genuinely care for me? Will this woman stick around? That's what these young cats are thinking. She can't be one of those black women who are about games, drama, and BS with no substance or passion for anything other than that. They're saying they need a woman with goals, knows what she wants in life, kind of like what their mother should have been. They should be saying, I want a woman similar to my mother. But they're not saying that. They should be saying, I want the personality of my mother, but a different appearance when it comes to, but different when it comes down to appearance. That's what they should be saying. I want the personality of my mother, but look different. They're not saying that. They're not saying that. They're not saying that. Are you a, you know, let me talk to these modern women out there, these modern black women. Are you a good mother? Are you leading by example? Are you showing your son and daughter the right way to live? Are you are you living a disciplined life? Are you putting your kids first? Are you making the necessary sacrifices for your children? That's what you have to ask yourself. Yeah, you're hot girl summer, you're traveling. All these black women think that traveling is going to Vegas or going to Cancun. You ain't never been nowhere. What is this? I like to travel. No, you don't. Stay your ass at home. Stay put. Learn how to cook better, right? Get you a recipe book. Learn how to make something. Learn how to keep your family healthy and alive. How about that? Homeschool your kids. Why don't you teach your kids something? A lot of y'all can't even homeschool your kids because you don't even know how to do, you don't know nothing. You can't even help your kids with homework. How are you raising your sons and your daughters, man? How are you raising them? How are you raising them? Are they going to be productive citizens or are they going to have a handicap? I'm talking to the black mothers out there because a lot of our FBA people come from single mother homes. Are you raising son husbands or are you raising men? Are you raising son husbands or are you raising men? Are you raising wives or are you raising masculine women? Which one? Are you raising conditional femininity or are you showing her how to how to drip in her feminine juice and just bask in it and stay in it and rest in it and live a happy and fulfilled life? Or are you just raising them to be promiscuous? Are you walking around with booty shorts on in the house while your son's there? Are you twerking while your son's there? Are you acting your age or are you acting your what are you doing? Your shoe size. Are you acting your age, man? Have you matured? Have you grown up? Have you decided to put your children first, your family first? Have you decided? And do you even know what that is? Do you even know what putting them first is? You got to ask yourself, what what are you doing out here? What are you doing out here? What's your purpose? What's your vision? How do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? It's getting late, you guys. We're gonna end the broadcast soon, but I gotta get to the point. Like, your black son or sons might not marry a black woman. They might be coming back with Marisol, Becky, Ling Ling. They might be coming back. Shoot, they might do what I did. They might travel. They might, I don't know. Probably not. They probably won't do what I did. But, you know, I wanted to be with a black woman. I wanted to be with a black woman that I flew to Africa and found me a black woman. I didn't want to just ditch my black sisters. I wanted to stay in the family. So I made sure I got me an African woman. Not FBA, but an African woman. It's okay. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But you FBA sisters, you have competition and you're losing ground. You're going to be the party of one, like Kevin Samuel's talking about. You're going to be alone if you keep going down this path. Especially the younger generation. They're not, they're watching you. They're watching you. And they're making decisions based on what they see, not necessarily about what they hear. What they experience, they're making decisions based on that. Like I said, my nephews, man, all of them. I can't even say not one. All of them would prefer not to date a black woman. A lot of them are colorists, if you want to call them that. They don't want to date a dark-skinned woman. Why is that? Mothers, I got to put the blame on you. You're the one raising these boys. You're the one raising these kids. What are you showing them that a woman is when they're at home? Are you walking around masculine, socking your sons in the chest and stomach? Is that what you're doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Modern black mothers. It's over for you. You're ruining your kids. You're betraying your daughters. You're betraying your sons. You're forgetting, you're pouring all this into your daughter, but you're forgetting about pouring into your sons. What are you leaving your sons with? What's the real legacy that you're leaving? Oh, excuse me. And it's 2 a.m. I got to get to bed. I got to wake up for work in the morning. But I had to get this off my chest, man. I had to get, I had to put this show out. I had to let you guys understand and know that modern black women, man, you're not helping the culture. Modern FBA women, you're not helping the community. I don't care how many times you voted Democrat. Okay, I don't care. You're not helping the black community. You need to get on the program with the man. You need to get on his page. You need to understand that he's coming with logic, a lot more of it than you're coming with, okay? Because that's how God made us. You got the emotional piece. Not that men don't get emotional, right? But we also got that logic piece. That logic piece that you need. And not that you don't have logic. but it's more prevalent in men. There are exceptions to the rule, but there's more prevalent. Everybody has logic. Everybody has emotion, right? It's a balance, I guess. It's a balance. But if we're being truthful, men have a lot more of it. Look what we've done with the world. Look how we built and molded this world. Look at how the world turned out. Look at how many lives are being sustained because of science, because of men. Men advancing, men advancing, men advancing. We're going to be talking about raising kings, how to raise a black man, a mother's guide to how to raise a black man. That's going to be interesting. I've read the book. It's not like it's a, a long read or far fetched or anything like that. It's just short, 7-page book. Raising Kings. One of my partners in high school wrote a book called Black Man's Guide, or a black woman's guide to raising a black man. Raising Kings. I like it. I like it. It's quick, straight to the point. You know, we're going to talk about it with the actual author, Fred Board. We're going to have a conversation with him Friday night. You do not want to miss. We're going to go over his book. We're going to go over his plans for the future. We're going to go. I'm going to ask him some tough questions. I'm gonna bring him. I'm gonna ask him if he's red pill, blue pill, or black pill. I'm gonna get on him. He might not know what that means, but we're gonna have the conversation. We're gonna get into this book, Raising Kings: How to Raise Black Men, the Mother's Guide to How to Raise a Black Man. And honestly, I want to see him go in more depth. I don't think that 7-page did it justice. I think we need like a 200-page binder, a 200-page book on how to raise a black man. I mean, he said a lot of good points in the book and things like that. There's some things I probably would have added or said a little bit more of, but it was said the way he wanted to say it, and it's nice. It's good. It's good. And we're going to dig into his head on Friday. So Friday, you don't want to miss out, 10 p.m., okay, Pacific Standard Time. Set your clocks. We're going to be talking with Fred Board. And we're going to ask him how's this book going so far. We're going to ask him, man, because it's definitely a good book. I would definitely recommend it. It's short, but it's good. Sweet and to the point. Sometimes you don't want things too long and too drawn out. You just want to get things to the point. Kind of like how this show is not, how we just start out and it can be 1-2 hours later and be like, oh, it's time to go. But we are going to end it because I do got to get some sleep, you guys. We're probably going to do a part 2 to this. There might even be a part 3, man. But modern black women, you got to do better. First of all, you got to come back to the traditional side. Stop calling people's names and call them pick-me's and things like that. No, you want to be a pick-me. Pick-me's are not single. Okay? Pick-me's actually have and will have a man. So, I don't know, man. We got to do better. Black mothers, you got to do better. Black men, we got to do better. Especially when we got to safeguard ourselves and stop allowing ourselves to be used by women. So, that being said, you guys, we're just going to end the broadcast, man. I can't just keep beating the dead horse, man. You guys get it. You guys understand where I'm coming from and what I'm saying. I want to appreciate you guys for the 1, 2, 3, 4 people that came into the broadcast and watched a little bit of it. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you're one of the people that are hitting the like button. Yeah, do it for the algorithm. Hit that notification bell. I'm getting tired over here, y'all. My mind, I'm trying everything I can to keep my mental intellect and power up, but it just feels like it's shutting down on me. It's just feel like it's shutting down. So I got to end this broadcast, man. I want to thank y'all for watching the Too Much Moxie podcast. Thank y'all for the support and the love that you guys are bringing. Man, I'm going to come with more stuff, more value. Like I said, we're going to interview Fred Board, 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. the author of Raising Kings. And we're going to ask some questions, man. We're going to ask him some very valid questions. So with that being said, man, hey, this is the Too Much Moxie podcast. I am your humble host, Too Much. And we are out. Peace. 2 fingers.